Warren Buffett est sans doute l'un des investisseurs les plus influents de notre époque. Son palmarès est juste incroyable puisqu'il a repris Berkshire Hathaway en 1965. Il a produit un rendement annuel moyen de 19,8% contre une moyenne de 9,9% pour le S&P 500. Et donc si vous aviez investi 1000 $ dans Berkshire Hathaway en 1964, lorsqu'il arrive, eh bien vous auriez aujourd'hui plus de 44 millions de dollars. Une fois par an, les actionnaires se réunissent à Omaha, notamment pour assister à la séance de questions-réponses de Warren et de son associé Charlie Munger. Et le truc est un événement, puisqu'il a même son propre fan club. Et cette année, ils ont passé un temps à parler de l'état de l'économie, l'avenir du value investing, de l'IA, de la Chine et même d'Elon Musk. Ça a duré plus de 5 heures et j'ai digéré ça pour vous pour tirer 5 leçons que vous pouvez appliquer dès maintenant dans votre stratégie pour réussir vos investissements malgré l'inflation, la récession et l'avenir incertain. Alors c'est parti et surtout c'est parti pour vous abonner à cette chaîne si ça n'est pas déjà fait. Le premier conseil n'est même pas financier, c'est de rester confiant dans l'avenir. Warren et Charlie expliquent que la meilleure défense contre la récession est comment investir dans cette période instable.
If you're the best doctor in town, if you're the best lawyer in town, if you're the best teacher in town, or even if you're the 10th best, you're going to make a good living. I mean, the economy is productive, and you will succeed with your talents, but you won't succeed by hoarding dollars. You'll just succeed by the fact that your value to the community, which is a rich community overall, is sustained. And so the best investment is always in yourself. That's the answer I would give you.
This country will do very well, and in particular, it will do well for business. Business has done very well. You know, the Dow went from 66 to 10,000 plus in the 100 years of the 20th century, and we had 2 world wars and nuclear bombs and flu epidemics, and you name it, Cold War. There's always problems in the future. There are always opportunities in the future, and in this country, the opportunities have won out over the problems over time, and I think they will continue to do so, absent that where we would have come to the conclusion at the end of them that we would have passed on a great business opportunity, a business to buy, because of external conditions. Nor did we ever buy anything that we thought was mediocre, simply because we thought that the world was going to be wonderful.
Warren est si confiant dans l'avenir qu'il n'aurait aucun problème, ou presque, à recommencer de zéro aujourd'hui.
I would love to be born today and go out with not too much money and hopefully turn it into a lot of money. And Charlie would too, actually. He just like he would find something to do, I will just guarantee you. And it wouldn't be exactly the same as before, but he would have a big pile.
I would not like the thrill of losing my big pile into a small pile.
Yeah.
Well, we like my big pile just the way it is.
Well, we agree on that, incidentally. Okay.
Yes, we do. You're one of the most extreme lovers of the big pile.
Le deuxième conseil, c'est d'éviter les erreurs et de profiter de celles des autres. Warren l'a donné à un actionnaire qui s'inquiète des bouleversements que certains secteurs vont connaître avec le développement de l'intelligence artificielle et les autres innovations de rupture.
It can change everything in the world except how men think and behave. The world changing or new things coming along don't take away the opportunities. What gives you opportunities is other people doing dumb things. And it's that. And I would say that, well, the 58 years we've been running Berkshire, I would say there's been a great increase in the number of people doing dumb things, and they do big dumb things, and the reason they do it to some extent is because they can get money from other people so much easier than when we started. So, which it couldn't be done 58 years ago. You couldn't get the money to do some of the dumb things that we wanted to do, fortunately.
Et justement, Pour Warren, l'une des erreurs, c'est de s'endetter.
You just want to make sure you don't make any mistakes that take you out of the game or come close to taking you out of your game. You should never have a night when you're worried about investing. I mean, assuming you have any money to invest at all, and you should spend a little bit less than you earn, and you can spend a little bit more than you earn, and then you've got debt, and the chances are you'll never get out of debt. I'll make an exception in terms of a mortgage on your house, but
c'est ironique parce que Berkshire est le plus gros actionnaire d'American Express notamment. Il parle ici bien sûr de la mauvaise dette, celle qui vous appauvrit, à contrario la bonne dette vous enrichit. Et c'est quand vous utilisez l'argent des autres, par exemple le financement bancaire, pour investir dans un actif qui vous fait gagner de l'argent, comme par exemple un bien immobilier. Et le levier, bien sûr, quand il est bien utilisé, il est magique, mais quand il est mal utilisé, il est mortel. Une autre erreur, selon Warren Buffett, c'est aussi de viser une trop grande diversification dans son portefeuille. C'est un conseil contre-intuitif et c'est l'opposé de ce qu'on entend généralement. Un actionnaire leur faisait remarquer que Apple représentait désormais une part trop importante, 47% au 30 juin 2023 dans Berkshire Hathaway. Et Warren a commencé par rappeler que ce calcul ne tient pas compte de toutes les filiales de Berkshire et au global, ce n'est pas tout à fait 47% de la société. Ils ont ensuite expliqué pourquoi ils avaient beaucoup investi dans Apple.
Apple is different than the other businesses we own. It just happens to be a better business than any we own. And we put a fair amount of money in it, but we haven't got more money in it than we've got in the railroad. And Apple is a better business. Our railroad is a very good business, but it's not remotely as good as Apple's business. Apple, has a position with consumers where they're paying, maybe they pay $1,500 or whatever it may be for a phone, and these same people pay $35,000 for having a second car. And if they had to give up a second car or give up their iPhone, they'd give up their second car. I mean, it's an extraordinary product. We don't have anything like that we own 100% of, but we're very, very, very happy to have 5.6 or whatever it may be percent, and we're delighted every 0.1% that goes up. It's like adding $100 million to our earnings. I mean,
one of the inane things that's taught in modern university education is that a vast diversification is absolutely mandatory in investing in common stocks. That is an insane idea. It's not that easy to have a vast plethora of good opportunities that are easily identified. And if you've only got 3, I'd rather be in my best ideas instead of my worst. And now, some people can't tell their best ideas from their worst, and in the act of deciding that an investment already is good, they get to thinking it's better than it is. I think we make fewer mistakes like that than other people, and that is a blessing to us. We're not so smart, but we kind of know where the edge of our smartness is. That is a very important part of practical intelligence. And a lot of people who are geniuses on IQ tests think they're a lot smarter than they are, and what they are is dangerous. But if you know the edge of your own ability pretty well, you should ignore most of the notions of our experts about what I call diversification of portfolios.
Alors c'est un peu paradoxal du coup, parce que si vous mettez 1000 € chez Warren Buffett, eh bien il y a quasiment la moitié qui vont être utilisés pour acheter du Apple. Le troisième conseil, c'est d'investir sur le long terme. Warren Buffett explique que les gens ont tendance à se focaliser sur le court terme, ce qui est particulièrement visible dans la manière dont les bilans des entreprises sont présentés aux investisseurs et tous les commentaires et l'énergie qui est mise autour de ça. Et si vous voulez que l'on grandisse ensemble sur le long terme, eh bien abonnez-vous à ma newsletter gratuite dédiée à la liberté financière, lien en description. Lui, en tout cas, n'est pas inquiet pour l'avenir.
If you look at the record of the 20th century, you'd say, how could anybody have missed, in owning equities during that time? And yet, we had all kinds of people wiped out, in the 29-32 period. We had all kinds of things that were bad. But if you would just own stocks right straight through, didn't leverage them, you'd have gotten a perfectly decent return.
Et effectivement, ça se vérifie. On va aller sur un outil comme Portfolio Visualizer pour backtester la performance d'un portefeuille. On va se dire que par exemple, si vous aviez investi 10 000 euros dans de grandes capitalisations boursières en 1972 et que vous n'y avez plus jamais touché depuis, ajusté de l'inflation, eh bien vous voyez que vous auriez un portefeuille d'aujourd'hui en plus de 200 000 euros. Il y a bien eu des moments où le portefeuille aurait perdu jusqu'à 50% de sa valeur, par exemple en novembre 2007, février 2009, mais vous auriez récupéré votre capital dès août 2012 et il aurait plus que doublé depuis. Le quatrième conseil, c'est d'investir dans des entreprises sous-cotées, sous-valorisées. C'est l'une des grandes influences de Warren Buffett, c'est Ben Graham qui l'a formé à ses débuts, connu pour être le fondateur du value investing. Charlie Munger partage une anecdote à ce sujet.
More than half of all the investment return that Ben Graham made in his whole life came from one stock, one growth stock, Geico, Berkshire's subsidiary. And at the time he operated, there were a lot of sort of lousy companies that were too cheap, and you could make a little money floating from one to another. But the big money he made was one growth stock. Buying one undervalued great company is a very good thing, as Berkshire has found out again and again and again.
Charlie a d'ailleurs prévenu que les rendements allaient baisser car il y a un intérêt croissant pour ce type d'investissement et les opportunités se font de plus en plus rares. Il a d'ailleurs fait remarquer que Berkshire Hathaway gagne désormais moins d'argent. En tout cas, pour pouvoir saisir ces opportunités, Warren conseille d'avoir de l'argent disponible, du cash. C'est selon lui la seule manière de pouvoir se positionner rapidement sur les bonnes affaires qui se présentent et c'est encore plus vrai si les opportunités se font plus rares. Berkshire reçoit plus de 6 milliards de dollars de dividendes chaque année et il ne reverse absolument rien du tout aux actionnaires précisément parce qu'ils veulent avoir des liquidités pour faire de bonnes affaires.
What we really like to do is buy great businesses. If we could buy a company for 50 billion or 75 billion, 100 billion, we could do it. Nobody else that can quite make a deal like we can under the right circumstances. And there could be a situation where a number of very decent companies have got a very uncomfortable borrowing structure, and money comes due to them at the exact wrong time, and that's when they pick up a phone, as did Tiffany and Harley Davidson and you name it. I mean, a whole bunch of companies in 2008. That sort of thing will happen again, whether it results in us getting the calls or what the world is exactly at that time. But the one thing we know is that the number of phone calls that you can make at a time like that is very, very limited.
Et d'ailleurs, Warren considère qu'une bonne manière de rémunérer ses actionnaires indirectement, eh bien, c'est au travers du rachat d'actions, un très bon moyen de les récompenser.
If Berkshire shares are selling for less than we think they're worth, that could be a pretty big way to distribute cash. Businesses, but if market circumstances result in us being able to buy in 50 billion of our own stock, we'll buy it.
Le dernier conseil, c'est d'investir simplement et raisonnablement. Lorsqu'on leur a demandé ce qu'ils pensaient d'Elon Musk, Warren et Charlie ont déclaré que c'était quelqu'un d'extrêmement brillant et de talentueux, mais que son style d'investissement ne leur correspondait pas. Évidemment, les deux papis à plus de 91 ans, ils ont du mal à s'imaginer en tant qu'Elon Musk. C'est normal.
He would not have achieved what he has in life if he hadn't tried for unreasonably extreme objectives. He likes taking on the impossible job and doing it. We're different. Warren and I are looking for the easy job that we can identify.
Yeah. If we can do it playing tic-tac-toe, we'll do it, I mean...
We have a wholly different way of going at life.
The whole way, yeah. But we don't want to compete with Elon in a lot of things. I mean,
we don't want that much failure.
Yeah. Yeah, and it takes over your life, and I mean, in a way that it just doesn't fit us. But you know, there are going to be, well, there have been important things done by Elon already, and it requires, fanaticism isn't the word.
Yeah, it is the word.
Oh, okay. Well, it isn't quite the word, but yeah, but it's a dedication to solving the impossible, and every now and then it'll do it, but it would be torturous to me or Charlie, and I like the way I'm living, and I wouldn't enjoy being in his, but he wouldn't enjoy being in my shoes either.
Et donc voilà, vous connaissez désormais les piliers qui ont fait de Warren Buffett et Charlie Munger, il ne faut pas l'oublier, un excellent investisseur. Si ça vous a plu ou que vous en voulez d'autres du même genre ou sur d'autres investisseurs, abonnez-vous et likez cette vidéo.